Evening, everyone. For us, it's midday, so evening for you, morning for other people. Hello from the UK. Nice. California, New York in the house. Real quick, if you could, if you don't mind, it's always a good measure. If you could, there's a couple people mentioning where they're from. Go ahead and mention in the chat where you're from. Oh, Philippines. Welcome from the Philippines. Got people from Yorkshire. We've got people Las Vegas, the Netherlands, Ottawa, Ontario, Sweden, Atlanta, Canada. 5 a.m. in the Philippines. Thank you for joining us. We've got Croatia in the house. Yeah, UK is represented. Connecticut, Hawaii, California. Man, we have pretty much every time zone you could possibly imagine. Alberta, Pennsylvania, right on. The UK has many people here. Spain, welcome to the call. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the State of the Union address. It's our first State of the Union address for 2020. It's an amazing time for the company, and we've got some good announcements coming up. We're going to outlay the vision and the strategy for 2020 for the company. And we have a lot of things that we want to share with you guys. Obviously, up front, we're going to cover what is one of the elephants in the room, so to speak. And we're going to cover the fact that Sal and Vanessa at this point took some time to think about 2021 and the direction that they wanted to move. They're going to spend some more time with their family and developing other career options as they move forward into 2021. We are very, very, very grateful for the influence that they had in helping us launch and create Auvoria Prime, the effort that they used to outreach to the field and make the field feel accepted, wanted, and valued. And we wish them the absolute best possible in their future and where they're going in life and with their future endeavors. Every once in a while in a company, you have to take a look at who's on the bus and who's in the right seats for the bus. And you have to look to see if people are happy with the roles they have on the bus and in a company. And sometimes that means you have to take hard realizations and hard looks at where do we need extra people? Do we have the right people? Am I really happy in the role that I'm in? And different things like that. So we've made some decisions. We did make an announcement. We're making several announcements today on today's call. There has been a couple of people that have reached out to us and said, hey, you know, Tradera just closed down. Is the company okay? The company is absolutely fine. Just to give you an idea of what the state of the company is, we just had Dr. Arafat hit 10K. His team has launched in Australia in a mega way. Matter of fact, we were just on the call with him a couple hours ago. We're planning to do some type of launch event in that area of the world. The company is actually September, October, November, December had double-digit growth every single month in each one of those months. So we are doing very well as a company. The company is growing, the field is growing, the leaders, we're having new people hit new ranks every single week, which is beautiful. And we really are in a good position, such to a point that it has made necessary a beefing up of infrastructure. And so with that, I'm going to announce a couple of things here real quick that we are doing to move the company forward. We have a couple of major announcements. First and foremost of those, I am going to announce we have brought on Mr. Matt Ward as our Vice President of Global Sales. Now, Matt Ward brings a big, long history of experience with him in the network marketing industry, in the sales industry. More important than that to us and his pedigree was the fact that he knows our products very intimately. And he also knows and has very, very, very good relationships with the people in the field, with our leaders and our advisory board members. So that was something that was very, very, very important for us when filling that role. Number two, second announcement, we have Miss Susan Batchelder. Susan Batchelder has been hired on, has graciously accepted the position of the Director of Marketing Operations. You know, when you look at a company that's growing and you see something that goes from a few entrepreneurs working together to build something, that then converts into a small to medium business. Then from there grows into a big business, which is the stage that we're in right now. Obviously, there's some growing pains, and you see infrastructure needs. You need new staff and new members of the team to fulfill roles that weren't even necessary in months previous. So moving forward, what we've seen is we have design needs, we have flyer needs, we have newsletter needs, we have rank certificate needs, we have training program needs. There's a lot of different things that we're building out as a company, and we want to make sure that we're giving the right infrastructure to support all of those products and all of those projects. And so we've brought Susan on to be the director of marketing operations, and her job is going to be to help us prioritize the tasks that are going on and help us really organize the design team, the coaching team, and all of the operative tasks, assigning people deadlines, following up with people, making sure that they're delivering their deliverables on time, and making sure that there's a proper flow within the company. She's done an absolutely fantastic job for the company so far, and we're very, very, very proud to have her on board. With that, we've developed new protocols. We've developed new product launch protocols. We've developed new protocols on how creatives get done, how flyers get done. We have a form now that people fill out, and they have to be very detailed. I want these colors. I want this graphic. I want it to look like this other thing that I saw, and you have graphic, references that you put in there. And so what'll happen with these forms is once a form comes in, it will be submitted to Chris and Susan, and they will be able to dictate which designer needs to get it done, which one is going to be best suited for the task, which one has the most availability, as well as the priority list, and making sure that people are doing things in the right order. The other thing that we're launching here very shortly is a suggestion form for the advisory board, and you in the field can give your ideas to the advisory board, and they can submit this form. And it's basically, hey, this is a problem or an issue or something that I'd like to see improved. This is why it's important. This is when it needs to be done by. This is the importance level of it, and this is what I suggest that you do to solve it, right? And as an operations team, we're going to be able to take these forms and take the feedback directly from the field, very highly organized and specific, and be able to give it out to the marketing department or the technology department or the sales department or the finance department or the compliance department or whoever needs to see it to make sure that those things get implemented. So we're going into a very structured environment in 2021. We've added 3 new members of our customer service department, adding at least 4 new languages. Our team in Australia was very excited to hear today that we actually have a customer support representative that can service clients in Urdu, which is a language that we didn't have, and that covers a lot of India, a lot of Pakistan, and a lot of other areas. We've also brought on some new designers. So on top of Matt and Susan, we brought on new designers. We're bringing on some people in the finance department, in the development department. So we really are rounding out the infrastructure of the company to make sure that we can move forward into an explosive 2021, which by the numbers you guys are already showing us, that's where we are going. So that's beautiful. The last thing that I want to announce and then turn the call over is something that's very, very, very important. When we started this company, we started it with the idea that the CEO, president, COO role would be jointly held by a group, and everybody would make all the decisions together, and that was a viable model for a group of entrepreneurs in a small to medium business, right? But as I mentioned, we've moved into this bigger business role, and whenever you do that, you need one person to be the director of the band, right? The one person that's waving the wand out there and helping every other person in the band keep time and make key decisions and delineate a vision that's necessary and a strategy necessary to take the company to the next level. And for that, we've actually offered the position of president of the company, president of Auvoria Prime, to Chris Simonian. And Chris has very gracefully accepted that position. Chris, we feel, is a person that not only with his history and his background in the industry, but in the corporate world of multiple companies that have had massive success in sales and in the network marketing industry. We feel that he is the person that is needed, that can be the person up there waving the wand and making the key decisions as far as our messaging, our vision, and our strategy moving forward to make sure that we provide the best possible opportunity for each and every single one of you guys that is on this call. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn the call over to Chris. Chris is going to cover what our vision and our strategy is for 2021.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. I really appreciate the introduction. And of course, welcome to everybody, on this call. I'm super excited to share with you exactly where the vision of the company is going to go. And so you might notice there's a little bit of light on me. Southern California, we have obviously really nice weather. So I apologize for those that are probably going through a little bit tougher time in weather. But sooner or later, hopefully this will kind of drift by and my face won't be so much in the light. But outside of that, I really am very excited about becoming president of Auvoria Prime. And I think the best way for us to start is for you to probably get to know me a little bit better. And by getting to know me better, hopefully I will get to know each and every one of you better. And some of you I've talked to personally, others may just have maybe heard my name as somebody who kind of started off, came on as a consultant in the marketing side. But a lot of you probably don't know my history and where I started from and how I got here today. So with your permission, I would love to spend maybe the first 3 minutes just telling you a little bit about myself. So I was born and raised in Southern California. My father, a minister. My mom is a school teacher. I have 2 brothers. I am married. I have 2 boys, 15 and 12 years of age. So they're just getting started. So obviously with that upbringing, I grew up with, a very, work ethic. Grew up with a certain value system of hard work, pays off. Obviously went to school, went to college and got my graduate degree. And the reason I'm telling you this is because my story really begins in college. I got accepted to college and unfortunately the good Lord didn't make this body to tackle people or run very fast. So I knew I wasn't going to get any particular scholarships. So I tried to figure out a way really how to earn some money so I can pay for my tuition. And in doing so, I ran into a friend who introduced me to an opportunity. And so just like maybe some of you, I went to a meeting space, so whether it was a hotel or a room, I can't remember, but the scene was very similar. And I know that you can identify with it. Somebody gets up in the front of the room, they have a flip chart, they're going through their presentation, and then they start drawing these circles on the board. And at first it didn't kind of make sense, but after a while, when I listened to the presentation, it just kind of, my whole world opened up. It made absolutely complete sense. And it was my first toe in the water in network marketing. And in doing so, I really started, that was it. So I started selling water filters. And that was really my first product. I was selling it from my dorm room. I got the investment from my father. He was obviously skeptical about it. My first year, it was a complete disaster, for sure. It didn't really work out until I decided, you know what, I better go seek a mentor. I better really learn this trade. At 18, sometimes you kind of have the I know better than you type of attitude. And I was one of those people at the very beginning. But when I got a hold of a mentor and I really started to learn the craft, I really started to learn the business and what it was about and the purpose. I got my why in. I really started to excel to the point to where I kind of reached one of the top levels of the company. I don't have any college debt when I graduated. And, I thought, wow, what a great career. Unfortunately, at that time, for that company, there was a law passed by the FTC called front end loading. And of course, that kind of collapsed my whole organization. But from there, I didn't know, but when one door closes, another one opens. And lucky enough, I was called by Herbalife to come on board there in their marketing department. And so I was very blessed. Actually, I was working very closely with the late Mark Hughes, the founder of Herbalife. And one thing Mark put a big emphasis on was the field. And so my really first job, I guess, at Herbalife was to join about 20 or 30 different companies. And I needed to learn their promotions, their incentives. I needed to learn their comp plan. I needed to learn their language, need to learn their product launches. I need to learn it all because that was something that Mark was very interested in. And so Mark and I really worked closely together. The other main benefit that really came from that was that I also learned how the infrastructure kind of a company works. At least from a certain level, I learned it. And so I got even more excited about the industry and how it worked and how each department kind of interacts with one another. Because when you're launching something, it's not just marketing or sales, it actually affects every single department that's involved. And so that really was a fantastic learning experience for me. On the other side, after Mark had passed away in 2000, I continued my career in network marketing. I never really left. I guess once you're in it, you're in it. You know, you try and leave, but they always kind of drag you back in. And so as my career went on, I worked with other companies as either a VP of marketing or a VP of sales. And then around 2006, another opportunity came my way. And that was with a company called Beachbody. You may be familiar with them. So Beachbody is an in-home fitness infomercial company. They call it direct response, right? When you see something on TV, you directly respond to it, and that's how you buy the product. It's direct response. But what Beachbody wanted to do was, their goal was, well, sometimes in the infomercial world, your hit is only as good, your revenue is only good as your latest infomercial. So they needed something with a little bit more steadier growth. And the CEO of the company was very interested in, well, how do you build a network marketing company? And so I came on as their president in 2006. And I'll tell you, there really wasn't anything related to network marketing. There was no comp plan, no distributors. We had a product line, of course, but those were the DVDs. They had some supplements, but there was no training and there really was no system setup, right? There was no computer setup or anything. So it took us roughly about a year, but we started that company up. And then, by the time I left the company, it reached roughly close to $500 million. And I'll tell you, the beginnings were not the easiest. It was difficult. It was tough. We made some mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes, but we had a vision, right? And we had a purpose, and we knew the products and the service that we offer. We knew we were doing the world better with it, and that's what kept us going. And then we had a great group of field leaders as well. Some of them didn't hang, and I understand that, and I get it. When some things go wrong, there are people that say, well, this is not really for me. But the ones that stayed around, obviously are benefiting. Now I think the company is well over $1 billion. Well, after I left Beachbody, I then continued with another company and built a very large organization as the chief marketing officer of a company in Irvine, California. They did a lot of their business in Asia. I clocked really roughly, oh boy, I felt like I was in a different country every week, clocked in at least 500 some thousand miles. But, we took that company to over 200 million in about 2 years. That company decided to move to Taiwan. I didn't want to go. I love Southern California, so I stayed here in Southern California. And then I connected up with another company. You may or may not know this name, but the name of the company is Senegence, a phenomenal company with an incredible product, right? A product line of long-lasting makeup and lip color. And you literally can jump into the pool with your makeup on, and when you get out, you look just as beautiful as you did when you jumped in. Doesn't smear, smudge, or anything. But there was a way that we were looking at marketing that company. And as I came on, I built the sales organization. I built the recognition department. I built the customer service department of that particular company, as well as the regional sales. And we grew well over 700% in about 18 months. I mean, it was a crazy time period where we were completely out of stock at any time. And the websites would crash all the time. Anytime we would launch a product, sure enough, within 5 minutes, that product was gone. It was out the door. And sure enough, the website crashed. Everybody, was in panic mode. So, the reason, again, I'm telling you this stuff is that I've been through growth periods, and I have been with companies and I've helped them get to, $1 billion marks and beyond as well. And so there's one thing that I think here that is very special is that Auvoria Prime is in a very similar situation. It's in a growth period, and we're starting to build the business. As Josh mentioned, we're getting rank ups. Month after month, there's growth. So, and it is profitable growth. I know that some of you say, okay, well, growth is growth, but is it profitable growth? And the answer is yes, it is profitable growth, which is even more exciting. So the company is not in debt in any way. So what I want to share with you today, as I conclude my story, is then, Josh and I, so how did I get to Auvoria Prime? Well, actually, when I was with the company that was doing business in Asia, Josh and I, that's where we met actually. It was roughly about 10, 12 years ago or something like that. And Josh and I just became friends really more than anything. And the reason we became friends, we always talked about compensation plans and what the latest thing out there is. We talked about laws and compliance. We talked about business. And then, I don't know, for some reason, I guess we always felt like maybe, we would somehow, team up. And so around end of July, I got a call from Josh and I got a call from the group from Auvoria Prime. And they said, hey, Chris, we're starting to grow and we have some gaps. Do you mind coming in and helping? And that's when I came in as a consultant for their marketing department. And then it kind of led me to this point here at Auvoria Prime. So that's how I got here. That's really my journey. So I appreciate that you listened to it. But what I really want to kind of get into now is I want to kind of get in, where are we going? So, okay, that's kind of how we started or how I got here. But now where is Auvoria Prime going in the future? Because I think that's going to tell you exactly what it means to you. So Josh, I'm going to share my screen if that's okay.
Yeah, you should be able to.
All right, I'm going right now. So hopefully you can see that.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, so the title of this slide obviously is, building to $1 billion. I believe that without a doubt that Auvoria Prime can be $1 billion company. And here's why I believe it. I believe it because we are planting our flag in the ground in a particular niche that nobody really has done before. And as I explain the vision and the future of the company, you'll begin to see the picture as it becomes clearer and clearer. So building to $1 billion is really critical. And in order to build to $1 billion, as Josh mentioned earlier, when you look at where people feel comfortable in their spot, it's really important that we position people in a spot that they will succeed in. So anybody that we currently bring on board, we want to make sure that we put them in the right spot where they feel passionate and we shine on their strengths and we don't put them in places where they are weak. And that's a big part. So it's almost like when you're building a team, right? And you want that team to really to go and win the championship so they can hoist the crown. This is no different. So we're really kind of building an all-star team of people that are going to be able, to take the company to the next level and beyond. So one thing that's really important is the first thing on the list is being affiliate focused. Yes, it's very important that we drive customers because from a compliance standpoint, as you all know, it's very important that if any government agency looks at you, that your product can sell on its own without a business opportunity attached to it. That's the most critical thing. So if you're wondering why certain companies have issues, is because when a government agency comes in, they feel like, well, nobody would have bought your product. You're really selling a business and your product is just a product. But we're actually the opposite. We have actually far more customers than most any company of in our industry than we do affiliates. But yet I believe the affiliate base is our most valuable asset. You guys are the most valuable asset. You're the ones going out there, building a business. You are campaigning for us. You're championing our Auvoria Prime, but at the same time, you're also building your legacy as well, which is really extremely important to us. So as you can see from 2021, we really want to become much more affiliate focused. And this is where Matt Ward comes in. Matt Ward comes in with his pedigree, with his experience, with his expertise within the industry. Matt and I are going to get together and we're going to start building out a 2021 sales strategy. And that's going to include everything from live events, obviously, when we can start traveling a little bit more. Two, it's going to, of course, include all the virtual events that we need to be putting on. It's going to include brand new presentations. It's going to include new incentives and promotions, which we can talk about much later. But, incentives and promotions are very important. That's what kind of drives the field. That's what gets people excited. If you do this, you get that. And one thing that I think Auvoria Prime is going to be starting to focus on is a much more affiliate-based programs, especially as it runs around from incentives and promotions. And kind of the great thing about it is because we have Josh on board. And Josh is different than any other normal CFO. A CFO is kind of, very tight. But actually, Josh happens to be very open to hearing a lot of ideas about incentives and promotions. So if you have an idea or kind of a plan or a strategy for a particular incentive, I encourage you to get it to us because we will look at it. I don't know if we can do it because our first question is, I don't know, let's see if we can do this. And we run the logistics of it and we run the protocols of it. And then we pass it to Josh and Josh will do the numbers. And if it's a promotion or incentive that seems exciting, then I don't see why we can't put it into the system. So we're very blessed to actually have somebody like Josh who really knows the numbers and who's very prime and open to hearing any type of sales or marketing activity, because he definitely cares about the field. The next thing we want to bring on is training. We're starting in Forex. We'll expand later, but we're starting in Forex. And Forex is a very interesting marketplace. Even though I come from the product side, I've been learning more and more about the Forex side. And it really needs some definite training. I need to train my emotions when I trade, right? I need to know what I'm looking at. I need to know when to accept. I need to know how to set my settings and so forth. So we're really going to start to build out a first-class training program as well. I want to then move on to the marketing vision. A big part of our business is marketing. And this is why we brought Susan up to Director of Marketing Operations. It's not only for her operational skills, but it's also for her vision and for her knowledge in the industry. So we're going to lean heavily on Susan, with not just the operations side, but with the vision of driving marketing. And a big part about marketing is not necessarily how you price a product, or how you promote it. It's really also about your messaging. And I'll get onto that in a couple of minutes. But a big part of our marketing is who we are, what we are about, and why you should care about us. And so a big part of our marketing vision is to answer those questions so that when people ask you about it and they want to hear a story about it, it's going to be readily available to you. The other thing that we're going to be working on in 2021 is our reputation management. Reputation is very important. Nowadays, information flows so freely and so openly that there's a chance that if you're doing a presentation, people are Googling you while you're doing the actual presentation. And so we want to try and push any negative articles or anything away from Auvoria Prime. And so a big part of some of these changes that you're seeing is really a big part of it will be reputation management as well in 2021, to when, after a while, when people are Googling Auvoria Prime, you're going to see a lot of positive news and a lot of positive articles, and something that's really going to excite people and say, you know what, yeah, maybe this is the company. Maybe this is something I should know about. Maybe I should learn a little bit more about it, and perhaps maybe I should join the company. The other thing that we're going to be working on is tools and programs. And I always say this, I wish I knew Bill years and years ago. I wish he was in companies that I was with, because the guy is amazing. And from the tools and programs side, which is a technology side, better back office, better websites, better reporting, safety and security measures, better training videos, all that stuff that technology and marketing combine together to really help you explode your business. It's one to have a great product, it's one to have great incentives, but you also need that support structure that holds everything up. And so again, like I said, when I met Bill, this guy's an amazing guy. I still don't think he sleeps. He works all the time. But, but that shows he cares. And that goes right back to the top of the list, which is being affiliate focused. It's really very important. So again, everything that we're doing on this list is based really on that top line there, which says affiliate focus. So the next thing we're going to take a look at is product expansion. If you're all familiar with Amazon.com, and we are, right? It's one of the largest companies in the world. They start off with books, but then they expand it to many other things. So as you look at Auvoria Prime, I see, and I think we all kind of see Auvoria Prime as the go-to marketplace for all your wealth management tools. So it's like the go-to marketplace for all your wealth management tools. And so there has to be a product expansion in that. And that's what's so critical, is because as we start with Forex, we will expand our product line, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in the messaging, into many other categories. And so just because you do well in the Forex, right, there's other aspects of wealth management that you also need to take into consideration. Remember, the goal really here is to build a legacy. And so what does that exactly mean? What does it mean to build a legacy? It's just because you go to the dentist and you don't have a cavity at that visit doesn't mean you stop brushing your teeth. Building a legacy really is a lifestyle choice. So as Josh mentioned, we're also building in human resources, not only in marketing and not only in sales, but we're also building our resources in customer service, technology, finance, and operations as well. So we're constantly expanding. As we move kind of towards the end of this month, we have our virtual event. This is our kickoff event. This is an event you really don't want to miss, and you want to make sure you get everybody on it. And here's why. There's going to be a lot of things that you see on this list now suddenly coming to vision, right? We're going to share with you an incentive and a promotion program. We're going to share with you a recognition program. We're going to even give away some certain surprises along the way. So we're going to even talk a little bit more about in depth about the future and the vision of the company as well. So if you want your team to be the first in the know, this is a great opportunity for them. And as I understand it, right now, you'll be able to register for this event. It's 47 US dollars, and you can register for it, I believe, right now. And we're using an app called Whova, WHOVA. So it's really simple. Once you register and you get your ticket at $47, you then download the Whova app. In the Whova app, you're going to see the agenda, the list of speakers. You're going to see it all, right? And then you're going to be able to communicate with the speakers. You can be able to create your own communities. It's very interactive. And then at the day of the event, you're going to be able to broadcast. You're going to be able to see the broadcast from the event right off Whova. So it's kind of our first virtual event of the year. It's kind of our first toe in the water using kind of a third-party software. So it's going to be really a lot of fun, at least, and with some great new surprises as well. And we have obviously a special keynote speaker coming in. You're going to get training from the top leaders right now that are doing super well. And they got some secrets. I had a chance to talk to a number of them. They're doing things that I didn't even know about. So there really is amazing amount of value that you're going to get. It starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, and it's going to conclude at 5 p.m. Eastern. So it's definitely something you don't want to miss. You want to register. It is limited in seating because it's a live stream. So by all means, please kind of get your ticket early if you can. And last time, we want to talk about messaging. Remember I asked, who we are, what is it we do, and why should you care about us? And that's a big part about building two things, the brand and the culture. So as I see you building to $1 billion, one thing we need to really start focusing on is our brand and our culture. So I want to talk about legacy for a second. Legacy is a really big word. It's not just a word you throw around. It's something that you have to truly feel. You have to be passionate about. A legacy really begins at an early stage and then continues throughout your life. It is something that you continue to build, improve, and work on. It is not a goal. It's really kind of a purpose. And so when we say building your legacy, and then I combine it with, Auvoria Prime being the marketplace, that go-to marketplace for all your wealth management tools. Well, there's three main pillars in building a legacy. And one is to design your wealth. The second is to build your wealth. And the third is to protect your wealth. So we got design, build, and protect. And under those three pillars, that's how you build a true legacy. And so that is our messaging, and that's who we are, and that's why we are that marketplace. So when I say we're going to expand into some other product lines as well as Forex and indicators and EA tools, it's really important and critical to know that building and then designing, building, and then protecting your wealth is all part of it. So each one of those pillars are going to have new product lines and new services available to you and, of course, your customers as well. And what does that mean for you? Basically, it means that you can cast a very wide net and capture a number of people's interest. I've had a pretty good education. I went to college and I went to graduate school. But one thing they never taught you anything about money. They didn't teach you about how to handle it. They didn't teach you about how important your credit is. They didn't teach you about loans or anything of that nature. That was the school of hard knocks I had to go through. And maybe some of you on this call also went through that school of hard knocks. Well, what if we had that already kind of covered? So this is kind of your university or your academy, so to speak, right? And that's where we come with, design, build, and protect. These are things that you probably just don't learn in school. And I'm not sure why they don't really necessarily teach it, but at least in America, they don't. And I'm pretty sure in other parts of the world, a lot of people don't understand what it is to build a legacy. And I know really other company is doing this. And this is why I believe that we have a foothold in the marketplace, that we're doing something different. Nobody's really doing kind of what we're going to be doing. And nobody's really hitting those three pillars that we're doing. Yeah, some people talk it. Some people have education. Some people have, we'll teach a little bit about here, Forex, or you can use this tool. But nobody is giving you that comprehensive, holistic. And the main reason, again, for that is it's really retention. I know each and every day you guys go out there and you work very hard. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to recruit. I know what it's like to build. And all the energy and effort that you truly put into something, to see somebody then walk away after 2 or 3 months in disappointment, it hurts. It's hard. And then you got to go over and do it again. Then you got to do it again, and so forth and so on. If we build a culture that is inclusive of everybody, in a sense that, we're here to help you build your legacy from the beginning, kind of almost all the way to the end, right? Then that's retention. And that it really increases your retention rate, and hopefully it'll lower your attrition rate. But I even want you to think about it one step further than that. As a child growing up, I wish I knew a little bit more about finances. Well, imagine that you're helping a family, you're helping them design, build, and protect. Don't you think they're going to pass that on to their kids, and those kids will pass it on to their kids? These are valuable lessons that I, just in my own heart, believe are extremely important nowadays. And as you know, this past year has been a tough year for a lot of people. A lot of people got laid off. A lot of companies went out of business. And a lot of people don't even know if they're going to go back to a job or not. They don't even know if it's even going to exist anymore for them. And some of them, they know it doesn't exist. They are going to be looking for something. They're going to be looking for something, and we could be that solution for them. We're really kind of offering a very unique solution. We really are offering them a couple of solutions. One solution is that, they can build a portfolio without ever having to sell anything and without ever having to recruit a single soul. It's not easy to find, but we offer that. At the same time, well, wait a minute, we do offer obviously a business opportunity as well attached to that. And that's where we become a lot more affiliate focused. And so that's that opportunity as well. So we really kind of offer a very unique opportunity at Auvoria Prime that can really take us to the next level and then beyond. So I feel like we are at an absolutely accelerated period in our time. And as we pour more resources into the business, you're going to start to see a lot of changes. Now, these changes aren't going to happen by Thursday. I do want to kind of give everybody a realistic expectation, but they are going to happen Thursday after Thursday after Thursday after Thursday. In a collective set, you're going to start to see a brand new set. You're going to see new websites, new back offices. You're going to see recognition programs. You're going to see incentive programs. You're going to see new looks, new feeling, new messaging. There's a lot that you're going to be able to witness, and you're going to be able to enjoy it along with us on the journey. So that's kind of where I want to kind of close, is that, Auvoria Prime is really set at a certain place right now at this moment to really get to that next level. And so most importantly, I just want everybody to know that, we're behind you 100%. There will be times where we may stumble and fall a little bit, but we'll pick ourselves up and we'll dust ourselves off and we'll just keep moving down that path. So it's really an honor to be your president. I promise I won't let you down. I am going to be working 24/7 to make this happen. And, I think the sky is not the limit. I think there are no limits here. So Josh, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And I really appreciate everybody's time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris, for everything that you shared with us. I mean, obviously, folks, you can see, why it was an important decision for us and the value that Chris brings to the table as the president of the company to help shape the vision of the company and the strategy of the company for 2021. We've got a lot of big things coming, folks, and I'm just going to bring up a couple, and I'm going to tease you a little bit with a couple of different things that we're doing. We have amazing Forex products. We have EAs, we have indicators. We have new EAs and indicators in the works and being tested. We will continue to develop EAs and indicators. We have new education coming on board. This first quarter, we're going to be launching some really, really creative training and education initiatives that will be all about helping people use the products and be successful using the products. We've got new affiliate training going to be coming online. What to do in your first 24, 48 hours of joining the company, how to set proper 90-day goals, how to set goals for a year, how to create a vision of what your why is, and how to secure that why indefinitely in your head and your heart and in your soul so that you could create a burning fire and passion. We're going to be launching those things. We've got a virtual event that's coming up, and this virtual event, it's not a webinar like this, guys. Just so you know, that what we're doing right now, this is just a webinar, State of the Union address. This event is not like that. The event that we're doing at the end of the month, it's actually going to be filmed in a complete studio. We're flying in all of the leaders of the company, the ones that have agreed to speak. We've got Derek's going to be there. We got Dante's going to be there. We've got we got all of the leaders that we could get in. We're flying them in, putting them up in hotel rooms. We're recording in a professional studio. It will be live. It will look like a beautiful event. We're actually putting on an event, and then we're promoting it out to you guys so you guys can watch it through the Whova app. And this allows us to do it globally without the COVID restrictions and everything that we're doing right now. Bill, if you could, quite possibly, there's a question in the chat of where do you sign up for the event? If you could drop a link. I know that you can buy tickets for the event through your wallet, but if there's a link, there we go. Susan beat Bill to it. If you want to know where to sign up for the event, click that link that is in the chat right now, and it will take you to a page where you can purchase your tickets for the event. Now, real quick before we end off, I do want to give the chance for one other new member of the team to say a few words. He's going to become a lot of the face that many of you are going to be seeing. He's going to be traveling to different events in different cities and different locations, helping us with sales calls and coaching calls and different things like that as the vice president of global sales. So I wanted to take just a brief moment here real quick and bring on Matt Ward to see if Matt Ward could say a few words to us. Now, Bill, do I have to add him as a panelist in order to bring him on, or can you share your screen and unmute yourself? Let's see if I have to give any permissions for that here real quick. Hey, there's his can you hear us, Matt? Can we hear you? Not yet. Matt, are you there? Okay, well, I'll just, Matt, can you hear us? I see you're muted.
Yeah.
There you are, brother. Welcome to the call. Go ahead and give us a couple minutes. I mean, we're kind of, putting you on the spot. I know this is kind of last minute for you. So I appreciate you taking the time to jump on the call. Why don't you share a little bit about where you see our trajectory going this year as the new VP of Global Sales for the company. Tell them a little bit about your history and what you see moving forward in 2021.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josh. Chris, phenomenal job, brother. I get fired up just hearing about really where Auvoria Prime is going. Who cares where it's been? All we care about is where it's going. The foundation has been built, and I'm so excited to be here and be a part of history. And a little bit about my background for you that don't know me. I know a lot of people here in the field as I've been a part of this company and seeing the creation of it for quite some time with the products and everything else. But my name is Matt Ward. I live in Florida, and I've been in direct sales network marketing full time for 15 years. I actually got into it when I found out my wife was pregnant, and I was looking for a way to have time freedom with my children. And my son is now 14 and a half, and my daughter is 12, and they've never known a day that dad has not been in direct sales network marketing, which I love. I love this industry so much. And, the thing that I love about network marketing is the purest, in my opinion, is the purest industry where the only way you can have success is by lifting people up, right? Where corporate America, you're smashing them in the face trying to climb the corporate ladder. Network marketing, the only way you can have success is by, lifting people up. And I've absolutely fallen in love with this industry. I was telling someone yesterday, there was an interesting defining moment in my life where, when you get started in network marketing, you're a little bit selfish, right? You're like, I want to make 10K a month. I want to make however much a month. And you have these goals. And I'll never forget that time where I actually hit all my goals. And my mindset shifted to where all of a sudden my goals became helping other people have success. And it became a drug to me, right? I mean, every time I would see someone's story and hear exactly where they came from and the struggles and knew exactly the hardships they were going through, and then watching them walk the stage as a six-figure or a seven-figure income earner with those bonus checks and stuff, that is what just draws my heart or makes my heart sing. I love seeing people financially win. And when it comes to Auvoria Prime, when it comes to this company, I believe that this is literally the formula to help people financially become free like never before in the network marketing industry. We're not out here trying to sell some fake products or juice or berries or Amazon findings that's going to cure every whatever, and we're creating some hype to create a check. We're literally have tools to help people really financially win. And that's what really excites me, because that really is my calling in life, is to help people financially become set free. And that's what excites me. So here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm so excited. I'm working hand in hand with Chris every day. And we're literally in the trenches to create a culture in this company like never before. I'm going to be working with this staff and this team to make sure this is the prettiest girl on the block. I promise you. We're going to make sure that this company is gorgeous and that everyone wants to be a part of it. I want it to be a light on top of a hill that everyone wants to be a part of. So we're going to be making sure that this culture is hot, it's gorgeous, and everyone wants to be a part of it. And the one other thing that we're working on really hard, which you mentioned a minute ago, is we're really going to work hard at recognition. We want to make sure that whenever someone crosses that finish line, that you feel like the most important person in the world, that that your team feels like the most important person in the world. And we're going to give you things that will allow you to show off your success, because we want you to show off your success in a big way. So recognition is a big thing with me. We're going to make sure that we have the best recognition in the industry. I can promise you that. We're going to be working on promotions and incentives to make sure to drive your business in a way like never before. And my goal personally is to 10X this thing this year. At least 10X this thing. That is my goal for 2021, that we're going to 10X this thing. And the question I have for all of you, and I've been on the phone with a lot of you in the last couple days, but the question I have for you is, who are you going to be within Auvoria Prime? Like who are you going to be? Because there's two types of people in this world, right? There are the people who watch things happen, and there are people who make things happen. And I don't know about you, I love basketball, but I would rather be in the game, shooting the hoops, rather than sitting on the bench watching the game, And what I'm saying is, don't be that person that's on the sidelines watching it happen. Every time I've ever gone to an event and the company's in massive momentum and they're having those stories, I always have people come up to me and with regret that they didn't take off running at the beginning. They didn't grab it, this bull by the horns, and really go after it. And the worst thing you can have is regret. And I can promise you this, is that the founders of this company, they have now laid the foundation to really make this thing go. And if you've been sitting by and you're like, well, it hadn't quite been right. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. There's no company that's ever perfectly right? If you're going to wait for the perfect moment in life to build a business, you're going to be waiting a long time. But here's what I can tell you. What we have right now is good enough to take this company to a multi-$100 million company and beyond. And what we're putting together is going to make it and accelerate it like never before. And so here's my challenge to all of you. We have this event coming up at the end of the month. Do not wait. I'm going to say it again. Do not wait until that event to grow your business. The worst thing you can do as a leader is say, you know what, I'm going to see what they come out with. I'm going to see what the promotions are. I'm going to see what the incentives are. Trust me, they're going to be good. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to, number one, today, lead by example and register for this event. Number two, I want you to make sure that all of your teammates are registered for this event. Number three, I want you to lead by example, and I want you to recruit like crazy and have as many new people, new affiliates that are watching this event as possible. You have now until the end of the month to go out and to build your business, put new affiliates in front of the screen to watch this go off. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. If you don't, you're going to be excited, and you're going to be excited by yourself. No one wants to be excited by themselves. You would rather have 50, 60 new people on your team all excited with you, so that when February 1st happens, your business will explode. Okay, does that make sense? This is called building with strategy, right? Not sitting around waiting. Build strategically, knowing that event's coming. Every time I ever knew an event was coming, I always built like crazy towards that event, because I knew that what was going to come out of that event would excite my team. And I always said that he or she who has the most people at that event will win. And here's the last thing I want to tell you. We're definitely going to be diving into calls. We're going to start building our culture with calls, trainings, mentorships, everything else. Tomorrow, we're starting that off. So tomorrow night, put on your calendar, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Derek Alexander is going to be crushing a Discover AP call. So all of your prospects, make sure they're on that call tonight. He's going to be bringing the heat. It's going to be exciting. And then right after that, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Mr. Mike Sancho is going to be dropping a training call, and he's going to be dropping some serious nuggets with you guys to really explode this thing. So Joshua, Chris, Bill, thank you guys so much for the honor As Chris said, I will reiterate, I will not let you guys down. I'm excited to meet you guys and to see all your guys' success. Let's go.
I was muted. Hey, everybody. So that has been our State of the Union call for today, for January 2021. We look forward to seeing you guys at the virtual event. For those of you who are going to Dante's event on the 16th, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, Dante, if that's the wrong date. A couple of us will see you there as well. And I'm sure that one or two of us will see you guys in the event for Amy Dangerfield's group as well in Florida that's coming up. And then I know that we've got big plans in Australia. We've got big plans in the UK, big plans in another city somewhere that's a lot hotter than where I'm at right now. So we've got some things coming up this year. Folks, we're looking at an absolutely fantastic 2021. The vision, the mission of the company, the strategy of the company, we're going to go for the stratosphere. We are so very thankful and grateful for the leaders of the company, the ones that are out there every single day talking to the customers and the affiliates on our behalf. Thank you very much for your time. And that is the State of the Union. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you and have a great 2021, guys.